Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another day of learning how to pray through the darkness. Now, today's topic is on one word: trust. Now, for us humans, trust is really hard to come by, isn't it? I mean, when we put our trust in someone and they break that trust, it's hard to do it again, isn't it? Or it's hard to, we just maybe don't want to trust them anymore. We don't want to give them a second chance. But with God, it's not that way. We know that we can put our trust in Him. We know that He is always going to be there. He's always going to be faithful. And He is always going to provide for our needs, even when we don't know that we need it, right? Even when we don't see that we are about to get ourselves into a situation, God is faithful. And we know that we can trust Him to, hello, let's stop and think about this for just a minute. So God is the epitome of knowing what trust is and wanting us to know that we can trust Him with every aspect of our lives. We're going to see this morning that through a verse that comes from Psalms written by David, that he himself acknowledged the need to trust in God and the confidence of knowing that, placing his trust in God, that there was nothing that he couldn't accomplish. So let's get into our devotional for today. Trust. Preserve me, O God, for in you I put my trust. And this verse is shared with us from Psalms chapter 16, verse 1. But before I truly get into the devotional, let me remind you that my devotionals that I've chosen for the year 2025 come from this little blue book that's put out by Broad Street Publishers. 365 days of prayers for depression and anxiety. But I want to take just a moment to let you know that if you've been with me since the start, many of these devotionals are not just for depression and anxiety. They are reminders. They are strength builders for us to constantly be in connection with God, no matter what our circumstance is for the day. So if you would like to have your own copy of this little book, there is a link for you down in the description box in which you can just go and purchase your own copy. God. What does active trust look like? Active trust. I never thought about it that way, but let's see what the prayer has to offer for us. Is it blind hope that keeps its fingers crossed throughout the hard times? Is it a continual surrender of my own control and belief that you will stay true to your nature? It is so much more than a one-time statement of faith. As I practice placing my hope in you, my confidence will grow as you can continue to show up in your faithfulness to me. You are a refuge to those who seek shelter in your name. You preserve and keep me safe in your mercy. What you give to me, no one and nothing can take away. No storm, no evil person, no hateful act, no betrayal. You are dependable in compassion and reliable in your love. Father, I continually put my trust in you. You know my heart and how it fluctuates. But I am grateful that you never change, even when I do. Meet me in your loyal one and fill me with everything I need for today. And that's pretty evident of what David was trying to share in that one verse with us. preserve. Preserve me, O God. David here is making a direct plea to God. And many times, in fact, all the time, when we come to God and we ask Him for hope or for strength or for understanding, we're making a plea to Him to come and to connect with us, to let us know that He is there listening. He acknowledged, just like we should, that God's love, His trust, keeps us safe from both harm, whether it's physical or spiritual. Refuge back in the day of David was a physical example where we could find our refuge was was up on a mountaintop, so that you could see your enemies coming from all directions. Or say up in, like if you were in a fortress or a castle, you could walk along the top of it and see when your enemies were approaching. But that's all kind of physical and outside of the body. But our refuge here that David is saying when he talks about, for you I take my refuge, he is talking about our spiritual protection, because that's what God offers for us once we become a child of His. He offers the protection from the evil, from the sinful, the hateful, the everything that is not godlike. Now, when I say He offers us His protection, doesn't always mean that we're going to stay within that protection, because we're human. We're going to allow the barriers to fall just a little bit, to allow ourselves to be consumed. But what God offers in His refuge for us is protection from that kind of attack. So what David here wants us to all understand is that we all face dangers, not only physically and emotionally, but most certainly spiritually. And there are no guarantees in our life that everything is going to be hunky-dory, beautiful fields of roses, flowers, petals at our feet, the birds are always singing, that kind of thing. That's not what God guarantees us just because we've become a child of His. But what He does guarantee is the protection, the constant companionship that we are guaranteed once we put our faith in Him, our trust in Him to always be faithful, to always be there, for us to never be alone. So as you go through your day today, I want you to think about something. Having faith in God and expressing that faith in God reassures ourselves that God is with us. It teaches us, when we exercise our faith in Him, that our refuge, our protection is in Him. So be faithful. Follow your Father's voice. Listen to what it is that He wishes to instill in you. Because, folks, God never breaks His trust with us. We may break our trust with Him. We may allow others to try to plant seeds of doubt. He hasn't answered you yet. Well, what's He waiting for? He hasn't cured you of that yet. What is He waiting for? Why does He want to make you suffer? God's protection and love, compassion for us, protects us from the doubts that others wish to fill our minds with. So take refuge in the fact that your Father loves you. Trust in His unwavering compassion, mercy, and be faithful, knowing that He is there with you always. I hope that you have enjoyed today's devotional. I know that trust is a very hard human emotion to try to look at where God is concerned, because we've had so many in our lives that have failed us. But if we continue in His Word, if we continue to seek Him, continue to talk with Him, that trust, folks, becomes stronger and stronger, and you will know that He is faithful. You will know that He is compassionate, and you will know that He never, ever breaks His trust with you. Never. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I do hope that you will take this and think about it today. Also, if you enjoyed the devotional, please remember to leave your little thumbprint. And if this was your first time here, let me say thank you for making it here to the end. Please hit that subscribe button and look for the little bell that has those cute hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload content, especially devotionals that teach us what our Heavenly Father has in store for us every single day. Please remember that when those doubts try, to crowd in on you and rob you of your joy, remember that God is there with you. You are never alone, and you are most certainly loved and cherished. Until tomorrow, remember, I love you. Bye.